Since we've been rising.
Yeah, I am going well with the name. There's going to be there is a new estate started. I think the land starts.
My name is Andrew. I'm going to be your commentary guide for the day. We also have Amy down there in the front carriage looking after everyone down there, for the first part at least. And we have Glenda the guard up there in the back carriage. Now today it's going to be both fun and interesting, I guarantee it.
About 30 our top speed. It's still pretty fast. You'll see, it's still pretty fast. It's fast enough. I think I'm going to do 400.
Do you need to talk again?
So the whistle has been blown this morning and we are underway. If you see anybody on the platform, make sure you give them a big wave, because we get to go on a beautiful train ride today and they're stuck in the office.
Not yet. Some of them are, yeah.
Oh, once that's done.
I know those. I've seen back down
but 3 times, cementing its place in the history books and proving once and for all it really is a railway that refuses to die. Now today, tales can have quite a few twists, some turns, a couple of hot-headed Irishmen and a bitter rival railways. So if you travel through Queenstown today, make sure you take in everything that you can see, because I guarantee when we return this afternoon, you will not see it in the same way. Many people that are sitting right where you are now said that they never saw it coming, and it was the very last thing that they had ever expected. Expected what, you may ask? Well, I can't tell you that just yet. But what I can tell you is, some of you may get very involved in our story today, while others will just sit back, relax, and enjoy the spectacle. I'm the perfect participant, obviously. Now it's very hard to find the perfect person for these things. They have to be charming, as I said, they have to be up for a good laugh. But more specifically, they must have a white beard and a blue jumper. It is very hard to find them, but oh, look at that! We've been very lucky today. Well, that brown hat suits you very nicely, sir. You'll have to wear it, I'm afraid. Yes, lovely. And please hold this bag of, well, dirt. Amy, give him the dirt. Well, yeah, there you go. Now, sir, don't throw that dirt away, because you never know what it may contain. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Now, everyone, I am very happy to introduce you to Mr. James Crotty. Round of applause, please.
Sometimes.
Boardwalk section, and that'll go onto a bridge over the Queen River where you can get some awesome photographs. There's also a very good information board down there which explains why the river is that colour today. Now, if you do want to have a go at the gold panning, please head down there straight away, as the demonstration will start just a couple of minutes after we arrive into the station. It's time to get back on board the train. So welcome to Lynchwood everyone, good luck at the gold panning, see you back on board shortly.
Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go inside. Right here.
Tries to find quite a civilised settlement in a wide clearing. A neat manager's house built of a King William pine and a group of wooden huts. I came because I learned about Lynch's Creek. It was very difficult to reach. It took me 2 full days to fight my way.
Baking powder, pepper and salt on hand in case we were cut off by a flood in the winter or a fire in the lake.
Got any gold? Some there. You found some?
So welcome back on board everyone. Hope you all had a good time there at good old Lynchwood Station. Now Mr. Crotty back there in the middle carriage, can you still hear me sir? Yes you can, excellent. Well I haven't suddenly had a sex change, I have just swapped carriages. Even though she's in here with me at the moment, so ignore what I just said. But nonetheless, we are going to swap back and forth throughout the day. And just to top things off, you're not even on the board of directors. So as you can imagine, Mr. Crotty is not too happy with this. In fact, he's out for a bit of revenge. And this is where the feud of our Irishman has begun. So I'm sorry to interrupt you all. If you look at your right hand side, we do have a very special surprise for you. This does not happen every day, but we do have our local bagpipesman to come and see us off. Now we do not pay him, he comes out here because he loves us, so make sure you give him a big wave if he goes past, he really, really enjoys it. The steam. That's because she's getting ready for the hard part of the day, that famous mountain climb. Very shortly we'll be engaging with the rack and pinion system. But before I tell you how that works, I should probably tell you which of our two famous Irishmen here problem. How are we going to get all this copper out to the world? There was no road at the time, and let's just say the RSPCA wouldn't be too thrilled about millions of tons of copper going out on the back of a horse to find them a way. So these surveyors came back through and they said, Mr. Kelly sir, you're a complete madman. You are a fool. You cannot possibly build a railway through this kind of terrain. It's never going to work. So Mr. Kelly sat back, had a think, and made his decision. He fired them and hired some new surveyors and told them to go do the exact same thing. Now this was being used over in Germany, called the rack and pinion, developed by a Swiss engineer called Dr. Roman Abt. Now this rack and pinion, it works by using a third rail or rack rail that sits in the middle of the two normal rails. This extra rail is made up of a series of teeth that point upwards, and those big teeth hook into cogs or pinion wheels that are underneath the locomotive, and then they are driven by a separate set of cylinders. So once we're engaged, we're going to be wound up the hill, one cog at a time, much like the cogs inside a clock or a watch. Which makes sense because Dr. Roman Abt was first a clockmaker, probably where he got the idea from. Away or we will make it. And many of the West Coasters still live by that motto to this very day. So sit back and relax everyone, enjoy the ride up the hill. We are now on that famous rack and pinion system. average around 1 in 2,000. So our grade of 1 in 12 is pretty steep. So as I said, our little local have a big rest here and a big drink, and you can all do the same. Right now we'll have a cafe open and you can jump in there.
Alright everyone, so make sure you say good day to Mrs. Delaney. She'll be here, she's here. And anything you do get from the cafe you can bring back on here with you.
Ooh, there's Mrs. Delaney. I knew we forgot something yesterday. The man who asks lots of questions, she's an endless source of information.
Oh, you.
So, don't sway the carriage. It used to be a lot longer though, but it's been dammed now, so then that's how we got Lake Burberry. So, Lake Burberry is the King River just dammed. So.
Try something out today. We're going to try swapping seats so you all get a lovely different view on the way back. So if you are on the left hand side of the train, we'll call that the platform side. Look over to your right and you'll be able to see the person sitting next to you. You'll be swapping with that person. So if you are on the right hand side of the train, we'll call that the wall side or the cliff side. Look over to your left and you'll be able to see the person you'll be swapping with. So when you hop back on board, simply swap over and then we'll head back up the hill and you'll have a lovely different view. Now does that all make sense? Are you all nice and confused? Yep. Excellent. Up is down, left is right, we'll figure it out. So if you do want to go on that rainforest walk with Amy, please head down there straight away as she will be telling you and starting her talk about the rainforest within a couple of minutes. That way you can all get back in time to see that loco being turned around. So please watch us out once again when you're hopping off the carriages, and welcome to Dubbil Barril everyone.
Like them a drink or not? No.
Smiling.
Yeah. No, they were all paid workforce. There was no convicts or nothing.
Oh, sure, camera, don't take a photo of it. No, I don't think. Oh, let the two boys do that.
Yeah, they do here. They go to 50 TikTok people and they use it to put in the TV.
Turn the point and then we'll get back to the
Yet there's few ones on the riverbank that are so lush and their ages are 300-400 years of age. So they've survived for the whole entire life.
Because that sulphur pollution must have been to do with them.
So I don't think she would have had a whole lot of time to herself. Now these days there's no kerosene farm and we don't make any 15-year-old boys grease the rack rail, the loco does that itself. But we still have our very own station mistress. Today we had good old Mrs. Delaney and she'll be joining us back up the mountain today. So sit back and relax everyone, enjoy some of the scenery that we're going past, and if you listen very carefully, you may be hear a little loco singing a song. I think I can, I think I can, I hope I can. So welcome back to Ron Union Station everyone. Hope you enjoy your time here. See you back on board shortly.
Remove the wheels.
You smiling?
Yes, I can't help
No, it doesn't look.
Now this was an absolute disaster for the North Flower Company. Without this brilliant man's vision, without his forethought, the company was never going to survive. The smelters were falling into heaps on the ground. The mine manager had fled the country. Shareholders were demanding their money back, and once again, it was flat broke. They had no other option. The North Flower Company had to join forces with Bose Kelly and his now victorious Iron Blow. Now once these two companies joined up, they flourished. They grew to one of the biggest copper companies in the world, operating for 101 years before closing in 1994. But that still wasn't the end of the story. A year later, the leaf was purchased by a new company called Vedanta, and that mine still operates today under the name of Copper Mines of Tasmania. Now what about the railways? Well, Bose Kelly now had the choice of two, his very own Apt or Mr. Crotty's North Lyle. And of course he was going to use the railway that he had built. So the North Lyle rails were pulled up, the American Shay locos were either sold off or scrapped, and the townships, well, the rainforest soon began to grow back over. In fact, the township of Crotty itself now lies under the dark tannin waters of Lake Burberry. Now after the Apt Railway, well, this side does have a happy ending. Thanks to Mr. Kelly's determination, this Apt Railway ran for 67 years, supplying copper to the world and bringing love and supplies into the West Coast. And when it closed in 1963, it wasn't just one of the saddest days in Tasmanian history, but the whole of Australia's history. Things were never going to be the same again. But the people here on the West Coast, they were not going to let this railway die without a fight. And this is the happy part of the story. You all riding behind our beautiful At Loco to this very day.
This time. Sorry. When you walk out,
To Queenstown Station, everyone.